Welcome to 2024, The Plot. I won't be doing it for the plot anymore. I've done my time. But I hope someone does, because doing it for the plot does bring about just the most unhinged stories ever. So someone do it for the plot, please. Speaking of good stories, I thought it would be nice to just start the year out with some positive news stories, some good stuff that has been happening, which you don't always see online when you're busy doom scrolling, which we all do. We're all guilty of it. This is not to say that there aren't bad things happening or in any way discredit those things or ignore them, but this channel is somewhere you come to chill. Let's be honest, we're not here to think too hard. This is a comfort channel for you and me both, I hope. So grab a drink, get your dinner ready, have a coffee, whatever it is that you need to do, settle in, and let's collectively restore our faith in humanity and the planet with some good news stories. This one is really cool, just straight off the bat. Scotland nightclub turns patrons' body heat into renewable energy to power the venue. It makes sense. I just didn't think you could do that. Dancing to Save the Planet, I love this already. The system called Body Heat, not super creative with the names, but we can overlook it, is installed in several points across the venue SWG3, allowing its gas boiler to be shut off permanently, saving money and cutting energy usage. The thermal heating and cooling system capture the heat emitted from all the venue's visitors and stores it across 12 underground boreholes before being used to heat or cool the venue later, whether it be the next day, the next month, or the next year. What? What? And in brackets, no, it doesn't smell. I didn't have that question, but I am glad it's been answered. The idea occurred to geothermal engineer David Townsend, the founder of Town Rock Energy, who frequented the club and realized it always got real sweaty. Not once have I walked into a club, seen it packed with sweaty people and thought, huh, could turn this into electricity. So good on you, David. Why don't we do this more? Like, if it's that easy, obviously, like, it's a cost cutting thing as well. So like, why not? Why not? Oh, I found my pic that, oh my god, I was looking for that for ages. That was really pissing me off like an hour ago. Kimberly and Brad Paisley open up a free toy store for families who can't afford toys. So New Year, same me, still can't pronounce things. For families who can't afford toys to shop with dignity, adding to their free grocery store. I'm sorry if my inability to speak detracted from the story. The couple are making the holidays brighter for over 400 families in Nashville. They founded the toy store where pre-selected families could shop with dignity in a store that feels like any other toy store. That is, oh. Am I in my luteal phase? Because that made me very emotional. I am. Oh my god, this was a bad time of the month to choose to do this. In 2019, the couple founded a free referral-based grocery store for people to shop during times of crisis to supplement their income. We've always wanted to see a toy store pop up around the holidays that has the same framework and model as our grocery store, so that customers can also shop for gifts for their families with dignity and choice. Oh no. Oh my god. How do we like, that is so lovely. I've also just found their Instagram. It's called the store_Nashville. If you want to go support them or you're from Nashville or something, that's their handle. What a wonderful idea and just lovely thing to do. Blue whales return to the Indian Ocean where they've been previously wiped out for decades. The discovery, published in the Journal of Endangered Species Research, we are not on it today. But what's new was the result of researchers' sound recordings over a year from a seabed close to the Seychelles. The researchers, including scientists from the University of Seychelles. Seychelles has a university? I kind of thought it was like an archipelago that was like not super densely populated enough to have a university. You learn something new every day. Researchers, including scientists from the University of Seychelles, described the discovery as a conservation win after the whaling fleets decimated the population in the 1960s. The blue whale is the largest animal on the planet. Yes, she is. I just want to take a minute to thank the sponsor of this video, Youfoodz. Youfoodz, in a nutshell, is healthy, fully prepped meals delivered to your door. I don't love cooking generally, and I've kind of accepted I may never like it. I will do it out of necessity, but if there's something I could eradicate from my life, it's the need to cook and buy groceries and do all that prep and waste all that time, in my opinion. And when you don't enjoy those things, you are more given to getting takeout and wasting money and stuff like that. Youfoodz is the best way I've found to mitigate that problem for me personally. If your New Year's resolution involves spending less money on takeout or maybe like eating healthier or any goals like that, Youfoodz is going to make this so much easier. It's so easy. You select all the meals that you want online. They are delicious. There's a bunch of variety as well. They're very affordable. It gets delivered straight to your door. You pop it in the fridge. When you want to eat, you just pull it out, put it in the microwave for a few minutes and you're done. You're on your deck in your swinging chair having a meal. It's convenient. You don't have to spend time cooking. You don't have to waste time going to the grocery store. There's more time to do the things that you actually love doing. shipping. You can use my discount code BrienneWorthIG to get up to $200 off your first 5 boxes. This code is valid to new customers only. Set yourself up for success at the start of the year. Sign up for Youfoodz. Use my link and get a discount if that sounds like you. And thanks once again to Youfoodz for sponsoring this video. Canadian millionaire builds 99 tiny homes to reduce homelessness in his community. He would. He would. After selling his company for 8 figures to a competitor, Canadian entrepreneur Marcel Lebrun was using $4 million of the profits to build a community of tiny homes for those in need. Extremely Canadian of him. In the New Brunswick city of Fredericton? Question mark. His factory is now churning out 1 tiny home every 4 business days. Efficient. Very efficient. How tiny? You're building a house in 4 business days. In a bid to create the 12 neighbors gated community of 99 homes and an enterprise center with a coffee shop, print shop, etc. That's so nice. And just thought, like, these are nice gestures. They're also really well thought out about like people's needs. Each tiny home includes a full service kitchen, living room and bedroom areas, and a full bathroom, a small deck, solar panels on the roof, and access to programs to train people back into the workforce. Oh God, they've just fucking thought of it all. We need more of like millionaires and billionaires doing this and less of them taking themselves to space on a joyride. This tree in Germany has its own mailing address. It's known as the bridegroom's oak and receives roughly 1,000 letters a year from people looking for love. Very cute, very like Hallmark Christmas romance movie though. Anyone can take the letters and respond, and it's said that the tree has been responsible for over 100 marriages. Over a century ago in 1890, a couple passed notes to each other in secret using the hole in this tree. This is so cute. Word caught on about these star-crossed lovers, and admirers started using the 600-year-old tree as a mailbox to deliver up to 1,000 letters a year. How are they all fitting in there? So they've built a little like bridge ladder system there. Do they have 1,000 letters? The tree was given its own postal address in 1927. Visitors read and even take home some letters, make pen pals, and some have led to marriage. Fun fact, Karl-Heinz Martens, who has delivered the letters for 30 years, actually married a woman thanks to a letter that stood out. It's so cute. It's so cute. I love it. I just love it. I've actually heard about this one before this, and I think it's just the greatest idea ever. Japan's restaurant of mistaken orders is thriving. People don't care if the order is wrong. That's the point. The restaurant of mistaken orders opened in 2017 in Tokyo by Shiro Oguni. I'm so sorry if I've butchered that. As the name itself suggests, the dish you order once you sit down at a table might not be the one you end up eating. 37% of the orders are delivered wrong, but 99% of the customers are happy. It hasn't mentioned yet that it's because the people working there are the elderly that all have some kind of impairment, usually dementia. I'm not sure why they didn't mention that first, but that's what the premise is. It was founded as a way to raise awareness, empathy, and show they are still capable. 64% of the orders are right after all, and celebrate the quirks of living with dementia. For the waitstaff, it's a way to make them feel capable and to socialize and interact with others, which helps combat loneliness and depression, which can obviously worsen the condition. Proving that there's another way to include people with dementia in wider society, an eatery concept in Japan has been hiring people with dementia for many years. I think this is a great idea because often the elderly in general, but also old people with dementia with some kind of cognitive impairment are kind of just pushed to the side of society and forgotten. There's so much research that shows that if you give them meaningful work and like community connection and like a chance to feel needed and useful, for lack of a better word, that their symptoms can improve, and at the very least they will be less lonely and less depressed. So I think this is a great idea. Having dementia or being old shouldn't mean that you are isolated from society. 14-year-old named America's top scientist for creating soap that treats skin cancer. News to me. Helman Bichelli, a 9th grader at a W.T. Woodston High School in Annandale, won the 2023 3M Young Scientist Challenge for developing a melanoma treatment soap. What? Treating melanoma? What? By combining simple compounds, he was able to create a product that simulates the activity of dendritic cells, which act as a protector for skin cells. The compound-based bar came to only 50 cents per bar, and he hopes to refine his innovation over the next 5 years to distribute to communities in need who may not be able to afford costly medical treatments. I find myself in a bewilderment with this, that it just seems... Obviously it's not simple. Obviously it's not super simple. This kid is incredibly smart, but the concept is simple. Like, it just, a soap to treat skin cancer, that makes sense. Seems so obvious now that it's been done. You know what I mean? He's 14. Sometimes you read things and you're like, the next generation is gonna be all good. You just out here doing things. A man named Dale Dale with a last name, because I'm not pronouncing that, grew up poor in Iowa, never married and had no children. He worked as a carpenter at the same company for 67 years and only owned 2 pairs of jeans. What fucking jeans do you have that lasted 67 years? Or have I misunderstood that you only had 2 at a time? Because same Dale. You and every lesbian Dale. He spent his life savings to send 33 strangers to college for free. You and I don't have that in common, Dale. What a legend. A lot of the comments are pointing out that college should be free. College is free in other countries. This person is from Sweden. And sometimes you can get these good news stories that you're like, oh, that is so lovely and like what a selfless person. But why is that a problem that needs solving at all to begin with? And we can have those conversations and that's great. But this video in particular, we're just gonna focus on Dale. Dale's a fucking legend. We love Dale. I saw this one and it was in Australia. Foo Fighter Dave Grohl shouted 450 people lunch in Melbourne. An American barbecue lunch with all the trimmings was held in Melbourne thanks to the rock star. Diners lining up for a meal in Federation Square got more than lunch on Friday, with many getting an unexpected encounter with one of the world's biggest rock legends. I wouldn't expect Dave Grohl to hand me a burger, I'll be honest. Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl put on a lunch for 450 people experiencing food insecurity in Melbourne. He not only joined volunteers to serve those doing it tough, but he paid for the American-style feast, tended to the meat and hung around to sign autographs after people realised who the guy with the tongs and the cap was. What an absolute legend. In Australia, as part of his band's latest tour, Grohl, through his catering company Backbeat Barbecue, supported the Big Umbrella Foundation, which serves meals to people experiencing food insecurity and homelessness. The whole process of tending to the meat was an 18-hour process. He was cooking overnight. He did that and then he rocked up at MG's kitchen in the morning, having not slept at all. The guy's an absolute legend. 100%. Top bloke. I think that is well deserved. He was still signing autographs and being kind and amongst our friends when he was literally dragged away to get on a flight to Sydney. And it says here as well that usually they have an issue trying to get enough protein to serve. So usually they have to cap it at 250 people, but because Dave Grohl was involved, they were able to serve 450 people and able to come back for extra helpings and take home containers of leftovers. What a guy. What a lad. 100 tiny endangered seahorses released into Sydney Harbour with high hopes. Hundreds of white seahorses were released into the waters north of Newcastle into specially made hotels as part of the largest release of captive bred seahorses in history. I wish them the best. I hope they're thriving. I hope they're enjoying their hotel. And one nice and simple one to cap it off, road traffic deaths have fallen by up to 50% across the globe since 2010. Wouldn't have thought that. Population increases every day. I wouldn't expect traffic deaths to have fallen by 50%. That's a big drop. Well done, guys. We're really actually doing great. All right, that's about it for today, guys. Thank you for coming with me on this journey. I hope we all feel a little bit better about the state of the world. There are always good things happening. We just don't always hear about them. It's not as profitable. And to be fair, this video will not get half as many views as it would if the title was something super negative. That is unfortunately how our brains are wired. Let's just think about the seahorses. So sometimes we really have to make a conscious effort to focus on the good. I can make a whole video about like the biology of all this, and it's very interesting too. Anyway, I hope you enjoy that. Hope you've had a good start to your new year, and I will see you when I'm looking at ya.